Many people may ignore you. It's not because you're broke. It's not because you're not attractive. It's because you're not charismatic. You don't give them emotional elevation. And when you can't make people feel, you become emotionally forgettable and socially invisible. Here's the dark truth. Most people aren't loyal to you. They're loyal to how they feel when they're with you. Fortunately, charisma is not a gift you get by birth. Rather, it is built by honing social skills. That means you still have the chance to glow up into someone unforgettable. You still have the choice to be the man women crave for. Today, I'm sharing 5 unbreakable glow-up rules from deep psychology that will help you build magnetic charisma, no matter how awkward or weird you think you are right now. And when you master them, you'll become magnetic to them. Let's begin. Rule number 1. Stop being overly available. Let me say this clearly. Charisma isn't about being nice. It's about being noticed. And you will never be noticed if you're always available, emotionally, mentally, digitally, or physically. Look, I get it that you're a kind person. You care about people. You reply to them fast. You show up when they need you, and you're always there for people. But here's the harsh truth no one tells you. The more someone sees you, the less they feel the need to think about you. The more predictable you are, the less mystery you hold. And mystery is the beginning of attraction, curiosity, and social gravity. Think about dating for a second. You text someone instantly every time. You always say yes when they ask to meet. You make yourself free even when you're busy. And guess what? That doesn't make you more desirable. It makes you look too easy to access. And our brain doesn't chase what's easily accessible. People respect what they have to work a little for. They value what they feel they could lose. They desire what's not always available. This is how reality works. The glow up begins when you understand this. Your time, energy, attention, these are currencies. Stop giving them away for free. I'm not telling you to play games or be rude or become too selfish. What I'm saying is simple but effective, and that is you need to stop flooding people with your presence. Let your absence speak. Because here's what happens when you pull back just a little. People start wondering what you're up to. They notice the silence. They start to feel your value because now they're not used to having you on call every time. That's the beginning of charisma. That's how you move from just another person to someone people think about when you're not around. So how do you apply this in real life? Simply don't reply instantly every time. Don't say yes to every plan. Make sure your schedule comes first sometimes. Don't always pour energy into people who don't pour it back. Practice being offline emotionally. Let others wonder what you're thinking or doing. And it's okay to step back. It's okay to disappear for a while. You're not ghosting, you're glowing. You'll notice something strange when you do this. The same people who used to ignore you will start noticing you. The same people who took you for granted will start valuing your time. And you'll stop feeling drained. You'll feel powerful, in control, magnetic. That's the first rule of charismatic energy. Don't be everywhere. Be missed. Let them feel the silence. That's when the tension builds. But this is just the start. Because even if you master this, you won't be truly charismatic until you learn the second rule. Rule number 2, speak less, but speak with more weight. Here's a truth most people never realize. Charisma is not about how much you say. It's about what people feel when you speak. When you talk too much, people tend to tune you out. You become predictable, too eager, and easy to read. And anything that's easy to read becomes boring fast, especially in dating and social dynamics. You see, the more you speak just to fill the silence, the more you reveal that you're uncomfortable with silence. And people don't follow the loudest voice, they follow the calmest one in the room. Have you ever noticed that the most charismatic people don't fight for attention? They don't raise their voices or try to dominate the conversation, because they don't speak to impress, they speak to express, with precision. Their words are different, they leave an impact. You feel something after they've said something, not because they said a lot, but because they said just enough and then stopped talking. In a world full of noise, silence is seductive. When you pause before you speak, people pay more attention. That small moment of silence creates tension, curiosity. Then people start to lean in. They want to know what you're about to say. That's power. That's presence. That's charisma. Now imagine you're sitting across from someone on a date. You don't rush to fill every gap. You take your time. You smile calmly. You answer with fewer words but more meaning. What happens? You become a mystery. You stop being just another nice person and start being someone they want to figure out. Someone who has depth. Someone they remember. And this isn't about being cold or playing games. It's about speaking like you respect yourself. Like your words matter. You don't need to explain everything. You don't need to be understood by everyone. You're not here to audition for approval. You're already the main character, and main characters don't beg for attention. They command it with stillness and precision. So the next time you feel the urge to over-explain, or prove your point, or fill in the silence, stop. Let your presence do the work. Let your tone be slow and grounded. Let your eyes say what your words don't. Speak like every sentence costs you something. Like every word is a decision. That's when people stop seeing you as just another person and start seeing you as someone unforgettable. Because when your silence speaks louder than their noise, that's when charisma begins. And once you master speaking with weight, there's another piece that takes your charisma from powerful to magnetic. Which brings us to the third rule. Rule number 3, master eye contact that disorients. In real life, most people look, but they don't really see. And that's why most people never get noticed. If you want to be charismatic, in dating, in meetings, in any room, eye contact isn't just a social skill but a weapon. It's the most primal way to signal confidence, dominance, desire, mystery, all without saying a word. When you avoid eye contact, you unconsciously say, "I'm not important, I don't want to be seen." But when you hold eye contact, calm, grounded, unblinking, you say, "I know who I am. I see you. I'm not afraid of being seen." That alone sets you apart from 90% of people in the room. Think about the last time someone looked at you with real presence. Not a glance, not polite eye contact, but the kind of look that made you feel like they were looking through your mask and into your mind. You felt naked, exposed, curious. That's the effect of high status, intentional eye contact. It disorients people, not in a threatening way, but in a way that makes them pause and wonder, who is this person? In dating, this is a game changer. If you're talking to someone attractive and you can hold steady, warm eye contact while listening, not staring like a creep, but relaxed, engaged, intense, you flip the dynamic. You make them self-conscious. You make them feel like they're being observed, like they're being judged. And when someone feels observed in a non-needy, confident way, they start to assign power to you. It's instant. But here's the mistake people make. They either avoid eye contact entirely or they overdo it. Charisma is about balance. The key is to mix intensity with softness. You're not trying to intimidate, you're trying to magnetize. So when you lock eyes, pair it with a micro smile. Let your face stay relaxed. Breathe slowly. Your stillness adds pressure. Your calmness adds gravity. This also works in silence. You don't need to be speaking to hold attention. Sometimes, when the moment is right, just look. Say nothing. Let the silence stretch. Let your eyes do the talking. That's how you own the moment. That's how you shift from interesting to irresistible. Once you master this, people will start reacting to you differently. They'll open up more. They'll feel like you get them without needing words. They'll feel seen. And that feeling is addictive. You don't need perfect looks. You don't need fancy clothes. But if you can look someone in the eyes and make them feel, you've already won the room. But eye contact is just one piece of the body language puzzle. To make your charisma unshakable, you need to master the next body language rule. Rule number 4, touch them. But do it subtly. Touch is one of the most underused, yet most powerful, tools of charisma. In dating, in friendship, even in business, a well-timed, subtle touch can change the entire energy of an interaction. Think about it. A handshake that lingers a second longer, a reassuring pat on the back, a light touch on the arm during a laugh. These small moments break the invisible wall between you and them. The human brain is wired to respond to touch on a deep, almost primal level. It triggers the release of oxytocin, the connection hormone, making people feel safe, valued, and more open around you. But here's the catch. Too much touch, or the wrong kind of touch, kills the effect instantly. The secret is to make it feel natural, unforced, and in sync with the vibe of the moment. In dating, that could mean letting your hand graze theirs when you pass them something. In a social setting, it could mean a friendly shoulder tap when you greet someone. Even in professional spaces, a confident handshake with strong eye contact can leave a lasting impression. The key is contrast. If you're constantly in someone's personal space, the power of your touch disappears. But if you interact with them for hours and only use touch once or twice, in a moment when your connection is already strong, it lands like lightning. That's when they'll replay it in their head later, wondering why it felt different, more charged. Balance here is everything. Too much and you feel pushy, too little and you seem cold. The sweet spot is to touch in moments when emotion is already high, when you're laughing together, when you're congratulating them, or when you're offering comfort. Then pull back and let them feel the absence. That gap creates a craving. Most people think charisma is about big gestures, but it's actually about micro moments. A single, well-timed touch can build more trust and attraction than hours of talking. And because it's subtle, it slips under the radar. They just feel good around you without even knowing why. Remember, touch isn't just physical, it's emotional. Every time you touch someone, you're telling their subconscious, we're connected. And if you do it with confidence, warmth, and restraint, they'll start to see you as someone magnetic, someone they want more of. That's how you turn a simple gesture into a silent, undeniable pull. And once you've mastered these two body language weapons, there's one final, high-status rule, part body language, part psychology, that turns you into the man people naturally follow. Rule number 5, control your face, especially when you're silent. Most people think charisma is about what you say, but in reality, it's often about what your face says when your mouth is closed. Whether you're on a date, at a party, or just walking into a room, people are reading you, scanning for tiny details you didn't even realize you were showing. That quick smirk when you're nervous, the rapid blinking when you're unsure, the little twitch in your lips when you feel uncomfortable. These micro-expressions betray your emotions faster than any sentence ever could. If you want to carry a real presence, you have to master your face. That doesn't mean becoming a lifeless statue. Nobody's attracted to a mannequin. It means learning how to hold a calm, grounded, alive expression that says, "I'm not shaken by this moment." A neutral face, when done right, has a quiet magnetism. It's not serious in a hostile way, and it's not smiling in a desperate way. It's balanced, composed, and confident. Think about the most magnetic people you've met. When they're listening, their eyes are steady, their jaws are relaxed. There's no nervous fidgeting, no darting around like they're looking for an exit. They hold stillness, and that stillness pulls you in. Why? Because our brains are wired to associate calmness with control. If you look like you have control over yourself, people assume you have control over the situation. Here's the magic part. When your face reveals nothing obvious, people's minds fill in the blanks. And the human brain doesn't just fill them randomly. It uses their own emotions, desires, and insecurities. If someone finds you attractive, your stillness feels like confidence. If they're intimidated, it feels like dominance. If they're curious, it feels like a mystery. You're not telling them what to think. You're letting them project their own story onto you. That's psychological leverage without saying a single word. This works incredibly well in dating and social situations. Imagine you're on a date and she tries to tease you. Most guys get flustered, their smile turns awkward, or they laugh too quickly to cover discomfort. But you just hold her gaze, maybe a small, slow smirk, no rush to respond. That pause makes her wonder, what is he thinking? Did I surprise him? Did I impress him? She becomes more invested because she's now chasing the answer. The same happens in a group setting. If you're silent but your face is calm and slightly engaged, people lean toward you more. They want to read you, and the longer they try, the more invested they become in figuring you out. Controlling your face is not about faking an emotion. It's about mastering your baseline so nothing leaks out unless you choose it. Your stillness, your composure, your subtle expressions, they become a canvas for others to paint on. And in a world where everyone is oversharing, the man who reveals less is the one everyone remembers. Charisma isn't some mysterious gift you're born with. It's built, one intentional choice at a time. By becoming less available, speaking with precision, and mastering your facial control, you're shaping the way people perceive and respond to you. You'll go from being overlooked to being the person they can't stop thinking about. And once you have that kind of presence, opportunities in dating, friendships, and influence start finding you. If you're ready to keep leveling up your social power, hit subscribe now so you don't miss videos like this. Thanks for watching.